Yeah, Matt, this is not your typical summer camp. Those cars behind me that look burned, they're supposed to be that way. It's all part of a training these young women had today. Over here, you have all of this, donations that were intended to go to families in need this upcoming holiday season. We are not positive if that injured person was an officer or not. But let's take a look behind what's going on here. There are still several units on scene, including Eugene Police. And I showed up to see people going into the house here on this 33,000 block of Coleman Road. Let me get behind the camera so I can show you. Like you said, this call was reportedly an alleged gunshot wound, but I have since went up to officers in the area. This is the very south end of the fire. You can see the damage done behind, including the cutoff line right in front of Dillard Road. I got an up-close look at this new sonar device after they dropped it off the dock, and watch those images pop up on the screen. You can see right behind me with that 360-degree view. This is Jasper and this is Briar, and they are here kind of educating people on how they work in the field and also how they are off duty.
This is KEZI 9 News Breaking News.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Philadelphia, where a jet carrying 6 people crashed into a busy neighborhood this evening. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Jennifer Singh. As the FBI combs through hundreds of hours of surveillance video and hundreds of tips, federal authorities are now warning law enforcement agencies across the country to be on alert for copycats. We just got word from Eugene Springfield Fire that fire has been contained and River Road at last check is going to open. Now to a crime alert where a night in for New Year's almost turned deadly for a trail couple after a stray bullet came through their window just a few feet away from one of them. In an update tonight, Providence Hospitals and the Oregon Nurses Association are actively proposing new contracts for hospital nurses. We continue our coverage nearly 60 days into the strike, where Teamsters are continuing to fight to keep a pension in their contract. And the situation down in California may bring up memories for thousands of Oregonians who survived and dealt with 2024's record-breaking wildfire season, as well as devastating wildfires from years prior. Well, Western Oregon has already seen some major weather in the last few days, even just the last few hours. But according to the latest forecast, we have not seen the worst of it yet.
I just want to be able to move forward with my life and not constantly be in fear.
After a total of just 15 months in jail, Mandy Clark's ex-husband, John Clark, who tried to hire a hitman to kill her just over a year ago, is getting out of prison in May.
My house isn't sold. It's on a river. There's 100 acres of old growth across the river. There is no way for me to secure myself in that house.
This comes after Mandy and her attorney tell me John was charged with solicitation of murder, not attempted murder, because police could not gather enough evidence, which Mandy says they never took the time to gather.
Once they had the confession, they never looked at anything else,
including evidence on an incident that happened just a few months before that Mandy does not remember, that left her with a traumatic brain injury and severe bruising on her arms, as well as 4 months of memory loss and her sense of smell gone, where John claims he found her face down in a river.
I think that he was responsible for what happened to me and the permanent damage that I have, and I think that he should be charged with that. I don't think he should be getting out an additional 4 months early on an already outrageously lenient sentence.
John's prison time being lessened substantially is only increasing Mandy's frustration and worries, saying she was disrespected through the legal process, her voice slipping through the cracks.
But one of my biggest concerns is the fact that there's been a complete travesty of justice here. I don't believe that the district attorney in this case has in any way, shape, or form done his job.
Mandy Clark says throughout this entire legal process, this case has become just another example of the justice system failing.
And with John Clark getting out in just weeks, Mandy says she doesn't want people going after him.
That isn't productive. What I would like is for people to call their congressman. I'd like people to call the district attorney.
She says the detectives throughout the process have been patient and caring, but the problem?
We need enough officers that they can effectively do their jobs. We need people that are dedicated not only to solving these kinds of crimes, but to making sure that those people pay for those crimes. And that isn't what we have right now.
I reached out to the district attorney involved in the case to ask about the evidence and the shortened sentence, and I've not heard back. When I do, I will bring the response to you. In Eugene, Jennifer Singh, KEZI 9 News.
All I seen was the police coming down the road, like major. There was a bunch of them, more than just two. The ambulance and the fire department, and I wasn't sure what was going on.
Around 7:21 p.m. Saturday night, Corvallis police say they responded to reports of gunfire at 1927 Northwest Highland Drive.
When they arrived, they found 34-year-old Vanetta Johnson deceased in the kitchen. They also found 24-year-old Ciara Page, her sister, lying on the floor, who had also been shot.
Police say Page was rushed to the hospital where she was conscious enough to give officers a description of the suspect who had left the scene. The suspect, 53-year-old Jerry Bruce Mitchell Sr., Vanetta Johnson's own boyfriend, according to investigators. Detectives say an ongoing argument between Johnson and her boyfriend led to him shooting Johnson in the head and Ciara Page right after. Detectives say with the help of Page's description and tracking technology, they were able to track Mitchell Sr. traveling south near Medford at around 10:48 p.m. A temporary warrant was issued leading to his arrest just after midnight down in Wairika, California.
He's currently in custody in Siskiyou County in California.
I'm glad that the police department did react as fast as they did, and were on the scene as quick as they were.
Neighbors say law enforcement handled the scene quickly and calmly.
I thought that the emergency responders did an excellent job. They really were calm and collected,
But they are desperately hoping this will be the first and last time such violence happens in the area.
And that night was a nightmare. And you never know. Something can happen to anybody else around here.
Corvallis police tell me the case remains open and under active investigation by the Corvallis Police Department in collaboration with several partner agencies, including several agencies in Northern California. An arrest warrant for Jerry Mitchell Sr. has been filed with the Benton County Circuit Court. He's facing charges of murder, attempted murder, unlawful use of a weapon, and felon in possession of a weapon. We will bring you more information as it becomes available, including when Mitchell will be extradited back to Benton County. In Corvallis, Jennifer Singh, KEZI 9 News.
Realistically, if I'm being honest, it would be wonderful if we just knew what was happening.
These are the questions people in Marcola want answers to.
If it was going to work out and go forward, or if we still have a journey ahead of us.
After many found out just recently, a residential substance disorder treatment center for men called Common Ground Recovery Services is planning on taking over the town's old elementary school by the end of 2024.
So our idea at this point is to have a 28-bed adult male facility.
Since the elementary school was bought out by Sober Brothers Living back in January, 2 weeks ago it looked like construction started on the property. Then an anonymous tip to Lane County that construction was going on resulted in a stop work order, as Lane County says the construction was going on without a permit. But I'm told it was a big misunderstanding.
All we've done is cleaned out the garbage out of the school and hauled it off. We have not done any construction work at all. We plan on getting permits. We haven't done anything. My partner went down this morning and told Lane County that we did not do anything, and basically they called him a liar.
The stop work order came as the project has been met with backlash. Many saying they wish they were told sooner about the school's remodel, and also saying Marcola may not be an ideal place for a facility.
I get the secludity and how peaceful and beautiful it is out here. Same time, it's very concerning. There's no resources out here.
Those concerns and more voiced Monday night at a community meeting to lay everything out in the open.
Keep your hand up if you are against this facility coming in.
Emotions were high in this room tonight as it was the first time community members in Marcola sat in front of the executive director of Common Ground Recovery Services and the owners of the property. Many questions were answered, but many still remain. Vernon Rose Jr., the executive director of Common Ground Recovery Services, tells me they plan to provide medical services to patients along with transportation to and from Eugene or Springfield. But permits have not yet been granted, and many people still want more answers to questions such as what security measures will be in place. They want to know more about how it will be funded and how this will impact their community. Brothers Sober Living say they want a chance to show them.
You know, we're going to have to work together. We will do everything that we possibly can within the structure of the facility and the compound itself to make sure that that you and other people in the community are safe.
I'm told the new owners are still working to get the permit they need, so there is still a long ways to go and questions they plan to hopefully answer. In Marcola, Jennifer Singh, KEZI 9 News.